What's up, guys? So I am trying to get back into podcasting, and right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a series of shorts because a lot of things has transitioned in my life. I took a brief moment away from podcasting for personal reasons and time management, which was my occupation, which my occupation has changed, unfortunately, but fortunately for me. So I want to jump back into podcasting. So I'm just going to create a couple of series of shorts and, get back into, what's up. So what's been up with you guys? Like what's tea? What's up? What's up? So I really, podcasting for me is very therapeutic because although I am in therapy and I love my therapist, Miss Gina, very, very much. Podcasting is another outlet. It's like journaling for me, right? So, um, it lets me express how I feel, and also when I have my guests on, it lets me see or open my mind to other people's opinions. So, with that being said, let's get into this little short podcast episode that I'm trying to run with y'all. So, it's been crazy on social media for the last couple of weeks, especially with the election and stuff going on. So I'm not really on here to talk about politics because everyone has their own beliefs and you believe what you believe for a reason. So I'm not gonna get into that. What's done is done, and everyone has different opinions about what's done. What I want to say about what's been going on, the controversy with what women can and can't do, right? So my question basically goes to like men. Like, I heard like a lot of men was like, or in women that felt like women cannot be leaders, right? So taking politics out of it, right? And just going to moral compass or daily activities or daily life. Women lead their households in a lot of ways. Like women, if you're a mother, you get up and you are the sole provider you're not the sole provider, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. You are the caregiver of everyone in your family. So to a certain extent, you're leading your family day to day. Like you're planning the trips, you're planning the day-to-day activities, you're planning the day-to-day life, like the meals, activities for school, work schedules, you working around. It's not often that men actually take over the role and really be like, let me plan the date for you in the first place, or let me do. They may make a reservation, maybe, depending on, I've never had that, that level of man that took on so much myself. So I know as a family person for myself, like I found myself in the role of doing a lot for my family day to day. So I'm a little puzzled of the concept of people moral compass of why women can't lead if you really pay attention to how women do lead. You know what I'm saying? So like in the relationship, the woman has the role of the nurturer to basically carry a lot of the physical load of the aspect of her household. So what is the concept that women can't lead, right? Or, women are too emotional to lead, because whether she's sick, whether she is full of anxiety, whether she is overworked, whatever the situation is, she still has to perform her wifely duties, her girlfriend duties, her motherly duties, a step parent duty. She still has to conduct certain duties. Like, she can be up all night with the baby, and then she still has to go to work and then listen to her leadership. And she can't give the excuse that she's too tired because she's dealing with the kids. So that's kind of like a struggle for me to understand, like why women and men lean so much towards that in their argument of why women shouldn't be leaders. Because what does that say about you as a woman? Like, do you feel that you're inadequate to lead anything? So do you need your hand held at every turn? um I really never understood that, and I'm not judging. I really want to know and want to hear the other person's perspective, because for me, I do feel like women lead constantly every day, like in the day-to-day life you lead. So, as far as the moral part of it, what makes a woman incapable of leading is really, I heard that a lot in the argument with the political. Like I said, I'm not here to sway anyone of my beliefs or who I feel or who I voted for or any of those things. That's not what I'm saying. I'm getting into the basics of um, people arguments of their reasoning why, and why does that sit right with your moral compass of being a woman and you feel like your rights should be dictated by anybody other than you for your own body. Like, why do you feel like I heard a lot of women that were like, I don't believe in abortion, but okay, because you don't believe in abortion, but abortions are banned even with incest and rape in most states, which my state being one. So it's like what does that really say in terms as to why should anyone dictate if you're raped or molested or any of those things, that someone should be able to tell you what you should do pro body, pro choice? You know what I'm saying? So um I just I guess I'm questioning where the moral compass come in, where when you take the political gains and ups and all those ups and downs of political out of it, so where do your moral compass take place, right? So I seen a list, and on that list, it was basically speaking to women and when women gain rights to do certain things. Um, like in 1990, women gained rights to property and wages rights. 1910, I'm sorry, 1900, women gained property and wage rights. 1910, women could wear pants. 1920, white women could vote. 1963, women gained equal pay rights, which that's BS, but okay. 1965, black women could vote. 1969, women were allowed to initiate divorces from their husbands. 1972, women could get birth control without a man consent. 1974, women could buy a home without a man. 1988, women could own their own business without a man. 1994, women gained legal protection against domestic abuse. So my question is, like, political to the side, where do we pick up our moral compass? Where do we pick up our moral compass and realize that as humans, not as black, white, but as humans, women, men, where do we pick up our moral compass and realize that certain things are not debatable arguments when rights have put in place for women that never that we that had to be fought for or had to be made legalized, that men already came. That's just like I was talking last night and I was understanding, like I was given the analogy that like a teenage son is more likable to get put out of a household than a teenage daughter, because the teenage daughter, what she does is she's molded to then help raise her younger siblings or help mind to her younger siblings. She's molded to help wash dishes, do laundry. I have no gender roles in my home, so my my son and my daughter will be held to the same standard, right? Because we always want to make sure that I'm the mom that want to make sure that as a man, you still can do these things. What if you were to get a divorce from your wife? What if you were to have to go through a single phase to where you're figuring out as a man what you want to do, or if you want to just play the field and date a little bit? You still need to know how to wash your clothes. You still need to know how to cook yourself a decent meal. You need to be able to walk into your life with someone being equally yoked and knowing how to do these things for yourself. Whether you believe your household should be ran as gender roles or not, you should still be able to know how to do these things sufficiently for yourself, right? So with that being said, I go back to the moral compass of, as a woman, as a teenage girl, you're molded to do these things. Like as a teenage boy, you're molded to take the trash out. You're molded to cut grass. You're molded to do. Everyone has a role to play, right? And that role isn't more than the other. Like I see many women in my community that I live in that are out here cutting grass themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because someone taught them or they learned that skill for themselves, even though typically it's a man's job or it's a man's role in the household. But when you're put in a situation to where you are the sole person in your home, I'm the sole person in my home to run it right from the day to day. So I do not choose to cut grass, but I have to hire a lawn service. I have to hire help for my home to manage it, to keep it going. I have a handyman because because my ceilings are high. So I can't go change a light bulb, which I know how to, but I'm 5'3". I can't get the hell up there, even with a ladder to change certain things. So my father may have to come in and help me, or I may have to reach out to my handyman. So what I'm saying is we are all human. And when put in place to lead, we all have to do it. You know what I mean? Like when put in place, when there are no options, you stand up and you get it done. So the moral compass of one role or one gender being inadequate to lead because of emotional. You can be emotional all day as a woman, but when you have to, or you are a single woman, or you are a woman that has to run a household, you still have to figure out how to navigate your household and get it done. Your house cannot just not be clean. Your house cannot not have, like I live in a HOA community, so I'll get fined if I don't have my lawn service done. So either I'm gonna go cut it or I'm gonna figure out how to get this task done. Because at the end of the day, it's no man around here to do that, right? So I question people's moral compass, not question it. I ask you to view your moral compass when you're making these very very bold statements as to what a role is for a woman or a man. Politics aside, we're a people and people adapt to their situations. People adapt to what is normal for them. People adapt and they learn strengths where there are weakness. You learn strength and you learn to stand up in certain situations because you have to. You just simply have to. And I lead myself and my children every day because that's the role that I was given. That is the situation that I have, right? And I'm a woman. I see single fathers raising daughters by themselves. And most men may not know how to comb hair, but you know what they do? They learn or they pay a hairstylist. As people, morally, we can lead our lives, we can lead ourselves. We can climb the elevator as we can climb the elevator as individuals to the top of our food chain with our jobs. As a woman, you may have to work a little bit harder because, like I said, they say equal wages for women. But as a woman, you may have to work a little bit harder to prove that you can be take emotions out of it and be mentally strong enough to do that job. But that never said that you were not capable. You know what I mean? So I ask that morally we stop using. I can only ask morally that we look into the concept of saying what one cannot do. When every day, no matter who you are or what you're doing, you can lead something or somebody or your life. You lead your life. You lead your life on a day to day. So one job is not private to someone because they are of a gender. Now, what comes with the person individually, whoever it may be, that's your political beliefs. That's not what I'm touching on. I'm touching on the fact that as human beings, we can lead in any gender role. You can't say a single father cannot be a single father raising daughters. It's impossible because it's single fathers out here raising daughters. You cannot say you cannot be a woman to lead a household when it's women leading their households daily. Our moral compass cannot always be compromised because is a game or is a. So I check in and I say, everyone, we are all born leaders. So just to end this off, like the conversation that I was having about the kids and kids being molded up to do certain gender roles in the household, and how you choose to give your kids extra skill assets as a parent individually, or you may feel like my son don't never need to know how to wash dishes because he should have a wife that does that for him. Whatever, however, you know what I'm saying? Your son has to go to college, or you may feel like my daughter don't even know how to cut grass, but you never know what the future may hold for your daughter either. So, I just wonder sometimes, do we ever sit back and question our moral compass and put certain situations and things to the side? I met some amazing women in my life, and I met some fantastic men in my life. And what I take away from all of the people that I've met in my life is that they all were put in situations where they had to lead in some aspect, right? And they led. Because as humans, we're programmed, the strong and even the weak. When you think you're weak at your weakest, you're programmed to be in survivor mode. And survivor mode comes with leadership, because there's no guide, there's no handbook to parenting, there's no handbook to adulting, there's no handbook to entrepreneurship. As many classes as they want to sell you, you're going to go through trials and tribulations. So you are forced to stand up and lead in some aspect. So I just token for the mind, deep for the soul. This was E.